Action figure deconstruction. What is up? Welcome to another episode of Action Figure Deconstruction. I am the Master of Disaster, Josh45, and with me as always is the Master Collector. Doesn't like to open packages and likes to keep them pretty in the box, like Stinky Pete. CBS.
I really don't like that at all.
Well, no, you're not like Stinky Pete, but keep it in the package like Stinky Pete. Remember him from Toy Story 2?
I'm aware of the show you're talking about.
And he's all sad and angry because nobody ever wanted to play with him.
You're talking about.
Nobody ever wanted to play with him. Mm-hmm. That's how they feel, man.
Sure.
They like to be touched and moved and
molested
and posed.
Good job.
Pose. Mm. All right, today we have a fun one. We have the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse series, which Age of Apocalypse is absolutely fantastic. But we have X-Men. He's my favorite character to come out of Age of Apocalypse. He is the genetically perfect offspring of Jean Grey and Cyclops, not to be confused with the Madeline Pryor and Cyclops offspring, Cable. He is a different...
Totally different dude.
Totally different guy. He's a little bit more perfect, but a lot more powerful, but could also burn himself out a lot more quickly.
Built in a petri dish by Mr. Sinister.
Yep. And he also comes over to the normal 616. Is that what it is? 616?
Yeah, back then it was for sure. Now it's more questionable what it actually is now. It's either Prime or it's 1. Either way, it was 616 universe.
Anyway, he's there now, and he became some sort of mutant messiah, and then tried to take over, and then somehow combine himself with Legion at some point or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff happened with him, but anyway.
He had a very different look.
He's pretty rad, regardless.
He's badass. Oh yeah.
So you ready to deconstruct?
I don't see why not.
All right, here we go. So in this wave, David Nakayama does the box art. It is quite beautiful. You see it on the sides. On the back, there's a couple tabs. So this wave is the Sugarman Build-A-Figure. It comes with, X-Man comes with both Sugarman's arms. And then Nate Gray himself. So the head is on a ball joint. It can turn in every direction. But one thing that Marvel Legends does have is a gigantic joint right at the base of the neck that makes him be able to go way up and way down. With the arm, you have your basic shoulder joint, goes all directions. It has an upper arm joint that twists. Your elbow joint, it's double jointed. You can see it there. So the hand does turn at the wrist 360 degrees, but there's also a joint that makes it turn up and down as well. The jacket is removable. It matches the outfit. It just kind of is supposed to represent like a leather jacket. So the waist twists side to side, and then you also have the torso that moves up and down. So the hip joint works as a ball joint. And then you have an upper thigh, side-to-side joint. Same as the elbow. It's a double jointed knee. 2 different joints, the top and the bottom. You have an upper thigh joint. And then for the foot, it just moves up and down. There's not, the side-to-side comes with the upper thigh. So it's just one joint down there. So Hasbro's Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse X-Man, also known as Nate Gray, from the Sugar Man Build-A-Figure wave, also known as the Age of Apocalypse wave. This wave comes with Jean Grey from Age of Apocalypse, X-Man, Sunfire, Wild Child, Weapon X, aka Wolverine, Morph, and Dark Beast. It's a really cool wave. Age of Apocalypse is pretty infamous for what it did. It took and made the Marvel Universe go super dark and super crazy. It's an apocalyptic future where Legion accidentally tries to go back and kill Magneto to stop a bunch of things from happening, and he accidentally kills his own dad, which is Professor X, and makes things go drastically different.
Yeah, it was really cool when it came out. I mean, Joe Madureira was the guy working on it, and art-wise, he's fantastic. And like concept-wise, all the looks are really cool. And the style of the characters were really cool. And like departure from the normal universe, I don't feel like it happened a lot in Marvel back then. Like we've had a lot of different alternate timeline stories now, but back then there weren't that many that were that crazy and affected like everything.
It ran through like multiple books. There is actually a deluxe figure Apocalypse from Age of Apocalypse coming out soon, but I think that's only going to be available on Hasbro Pulse. Some of the other deluxe figures with like, I think Deadpool with the scooter and like.
Yeah, the Pulse shop has a couple of them that come with, like, they've got a Deadpool and they've got a Squirrel Girl.
Dogpool. Like, think of Deadpool, the scooter, and Dogpool. Also, you can, I think, Punisher 20, what was it? Punisher, like the Space Punisher guy?
Oh, 2099.
Yes, Punisher 2099.
Oh, that's cool.
Is going to be a part of that. Or no, Ghost Rider.
The Cosmic Ghost Rider?
Cosmic Ghost Rider is one of them. There's a bunch of deluxe figures, but yeah, that Apocalypse is going to be one because he's a larger figure.
Yeah, I want to say they offered those to comic shops too, because I remember seeing our store get an option to get them, but you had to buy them by the case. So a case of Apocalypse is
probably
cool
6.
depending where you live, but you know.
But this figure itself is available at most retail stores. It's goes for about $19.99, which is pretty average for most 6-inch figures, the 1/12 scale. I love this character. I always have since he first came out. This figure, though, there's my issues with it are I don't like that the psi energy coming off that eye isn't removable. It just always is there. That kind of bothers me a little bit. So it's just
it hinders what you get from him look-wise, yeah.
Well, not even that. It's sometimes people want to buy figures for their kids as well, and I don't see that psi energy staying on that face for very long without it just destroying the figure. That's one of the issues I see about it. And I know that like Marvel Legends are kind of themed more for adult collectors, but if you're going to sell them at like your brick and mortar stores like Target, Walmart, etc., you got to understand that sometimes really cool parents are going to buy their kids really cool action figures still, and that's going to be a problem. So it's a little bit too detailed in that aspect for me, but for an adult collector, it's fantastic.
Sure.
The jacket does come off, but the sleeves on on his arms, those aren't removable, so it's part of the leather jacket that he's wearing. So honestly, like it just kind of adds to the detail a little bit by that being removable, but you wouldn't normally remove it. So when it comes to customability, there's not a lot of it. He does it most Marvel Legends figures, tons of articulation. They've done a really good job since Hasbro took over.
Oh yeah. Posability, fantastic. Doesn't come with a base, but does have peg holes. So that's fine, which is like normal nowadays.
Which, and like the more we get into these figures, the ones that don't come with a stand, the more it starts to bug me because it's a pretty simple thing to add in. Yeah. And I really wish that more companies would add in a stand because it's not that big of a deal.
Right. Well, Marvel and Hasbro, you think since they did it with a lot of the G.I. Joes back when they were doing the 20th anniversary run, you think you would? Even if it doesn't have anything printed on it? A nameplate that said Age of Apocalypse on it would be freaking cool.
Or just a straight up Marvel.
Sure.
Just a really very basic.
Oh, we use the same one for everybody, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be cool. Very simple to do, but they don't. So, other than that, overall, it's a fantastic figure. We've kind of held off on Marvel Legends just to see like what would come out, but they put out so many figures and they're all so good. I debated with you I wanted to maybe do the Thing figure from the Fantastic Four line.
Yeah. He looks really good too.
It's an amazing figure too. Like, they're all so good. I haven't seen any that I don't like. They do a lot of B and C characters even. They do fantastically.
Figures look cool. I mean, the B and C is depending on whether it's a character that resonates with you or not. I mean, because a few of them they're like, well, who the hell is that? But as a thing, I mean, depending on how deep you are comic book wise, it's cool that those guys got figures at all. But as far as the way they're made, I mean, yeah, they're made awesome, even if it's a character you don't know at all.
So ultimately, if you're a fan of Marvel Comics and you're a fan of action figures, you're going to probably already be a fan of Marvel Legends. They've been around for a very long time, put out a lot of really cool figures.
Oh, yeah.
The Build-A-Figures have gotten a little smaller over the years. I haven't quite seen one quite the size on the same size and scale as like the Sentinel or Galactus that we had before they switched companies, I think.
You know, I think Galactus might have been after, but I don't really remember that.
I think those two large ones were before, and I'm not sure who had.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
remember who had it before, but
the Sentinel was freaking amazing. Like, scale wise.
No, he was about.
No, it was like that, dude.
I just sold mine on eBay recently, so
awesome.
It was really cool. It just took up way too much space, and me personally, I don't collect the 6-inch like line of anything. I'm going to make an exception for the new G.I. Joe line coming out, just because I love G.I. Joe so much.
Sure.
But ultimately, I'm a the 1/18 scale guy,
right?
So I know you kind of appreciate everything, but you have always liked the 6-inch line quite a bit. So
yeah, I have quite a few of the 6-inch guys. Yeah.
But yeah. Anything else, man?
No, I mean, all the Marvel Legends figures, like you said, are awesome. Storylines in general, it's cool they pick storylines that are not just like current storylines. I mean, Age of Apocalypse has been a minute, but it was always really well liked.
But they've also done a bunch of things after the fact. Like they've revisited it, and like a lot of the characters that were popular have joined the mainstream Marvel comics line, like Blink, Dark Beast, Morph. I don't know Sunfire wise if they
not that version
of Sunfire, but I think they might have slightly gone that direction with him.
His look is very similar now. It's not technically the same character, but he has gone that look.
Wild Child was part of the regular Marvel universe, but like he became a little bit more popular with because of Age of Apocalypse, because he was like kind of Sabretooth's sidekick, basically.
Yeah, in Age of Apocalypse he was. In the Norma comics, he was part of Alpha Flight, and most of the time he wore a mask, so we didn't really see a whole lot of him being crazy face.
And I think that I don't know if this might be the first Wild Child figure. I haven't seen one before. I mean, maybe not, but like if it's not, then it's one of the first few. Because I know that there's been multiple Nate Gray figures, there's been multiple Wolverine figures, Jean Grey, all the rest of these guys, but I for some reason I think Wild Child that may one of the only ones that I've seen.
It might be. I mean, that'd take a little more research, but I don't remember seeing one. Where Blink's had a few, and she's not even part of this wave. So Wolverine's had a couple.
They did her in a regular X-Men wave.
They did.
So,
well, she's part of the regular continuity too. I mean, like you said, Nate, Dark Beast, her all leaked over into regular continuity proper. So they're around story-wise.
And if anybody remembers, Morph is actually a character that debuted with the X-Men animated series.
He did.
So he was really cool character. So
yeah, that's about it, I guess.
So I am at Windle24 on all platforms. It's WINDLE24 on Insta and the Facebooks and all those things. You are at
Top 5 Comics CBS on Instagram for art stuff. I do drawings. Of course, Action Figure Deconstruction for kind of everything.
Yeah, just at Action Figure Deconstruction on everything. So if you are watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference for us. And for all the people who do watch this on a regular basis, we have some new subscribers. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, yeah.
We really enjoyed going through these figures. So a lot of the independent companies that we've gone through, Sparrow Toys, Boss Fight Studios, Acid Rain. We've done some really cool people. Lance Inkwell, thank you guys so much for giving us a shout out on your own social media pages. It means a lot to us because we do your guys' figures because we care about your guys' company. So it's awesome. So thank you so much for that. But also check out the Top 5 Comics podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Top 5 Comics podcast, which is this show debuted on that kind of, it used to be just like an audio version, but we decided to take it to the video platform. So, there is a podcast that we go through
Comic book reviews.
comic books on a regular basis on that. So check that out, please. Like and review that as well. Subscribe. But, other than that, man.
Same bad time.
Shape of Water.
It's supposed to be.
I threw a wrench in there for you this week.
It's supposed to be
Wonder Twins power combined.
So there's shape and then form of. So you'd be shape.
I said Shape
I'd be
of Water.
form of. Okay, but you're not supposed to be water. You're supposed to be an animal. Shape
No,
is an animal.
Shape of Water.
No.
Form of a bat.
No.
Man.
It's not how it works.
Shape of Time. Form of bat.
Channel?
Channel.
Doesn't work that way either.
Did we have a noise last time? Pew, pew, pew.